the Tesla rally.
Yeah.
What was that like? Going to the Tesla, protesting the rally. What was that like?
I actually sent correspondence there. I sent my friend Albie here to the
So you weren't
Tesla
there
boycott in
yourself.
Palo Alto. I was in Jamaica for like an anniversary trip at the time when this was going down. Then I sent another friend of mine to the one in Burbank. But yeah, it was kind of interesting. Like with the Tesla boycott movement, I see it as a broader offshoot of the anti-Elon stop the coup movement. But then at some point after that began, they started targeting Tesla factories directly. And their idea was that if they lower, Tesla's stock price, that will in turn take away from Elon's economic power, which would disempower Trump in some capacity.
Right. And again, this goes back to the Joker to me. Because in the movie Joker, Elon would be Batman and Joker would be the guys that are going after him, right? It's funny, we're in D.C. Is it January 20th? Is it inauguration, Rob?
Yes.
So we go to this party.
Oh, CPAC. It was actually CPAC.
Was it CPAC or inauguration?
No, because CPAC, because we went after CPAC, we had the invite.
Okay, so we're in DC, and there's this Doge party. And a guy invites us to go to this Doge party. And apparently Elon's going to be showing up. So we go to this party. I take my 13-year-old son. They're upstairs watching. If you pull up one of the clips, Rob, of someone else who reported, it was reported all over the place. There's a couple of them. So we're there. We're walking. Pause it, Rob, so we can hear it. So we're walking. We get outside. There's the protesting across the street. I decide to walk up to these guys to just talk to them with my 13-year-old son.
Pretty bad call, I think.
Pretty bad call, I think. Yeah, I don't think you're wrong.
Yeah.
Well, watch this. This is my curiosity here. Go ahead and play the clip. Go ahead, Rob.
No, back up, people. Don't
This is the wrong clip, Rob, because the one is you got to show the clip.
So that one I can show you guys, but we can't show because it's copyrighted content. Just so you know. Yes.
But didn't we record it or no?
I can look for the best version is this one right here, but these are
We can't show this. That's copy.
Yes.
Well, why don't you show it so he can see it, and
100%.
the audience, you guys can tweet this and see. This is me talking to the guy, just to kind of see where it's at. The guy in the ball to the right is a federal agent. Look what he does to him. Look at the spit coming up. Look at this. Boom. He spits
that
on
was
the
a real loogie, damn.
Yeah.
Damn, it gives me real nostalgic flashbacks seeing somebody with a MAGA hat next to somebody with an N95 mask on. Those are the two real genders.
Here's a question for you. Do you, when you're out there, well, you've not been out there. Maybe you're guys that came back. There's always, numbers that show up that some of these guys are paid agitators and paid protesters. When you've been out there, whether it's the Luigi Mangione or any of the other stuff, do you ever ask them the question, or did you guys get paid to do this?
Yeah, it's typically not true.
Typically not true?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a paid protester. I mean, it's a narrative that gets pushed a lot, which makes sense because there is NGOs that organize protests, but they're making that decision to do the there are groups that receive funding who decide themselves to protest, and they use some of that funding to do stuff like, make signs, but they're still making the decision most of the time. It's not like someone like George Soros is like, hey, go over there and have a sign that says Elon sucks. It's them being genuinely upset and thinking, okay, cool, let's use some of this funding to do something. On the other hand, I have actually seen, though, paid protest groups go into places that are more radical, like Portland and Seattle, and disrupt, more direct action movements. Like, for example, I remember in Portland, Oregon, during the crazy summer of 2020, there were organizations, I'm not going to say the name, that were basically paid by the city of Portland and the state itself to go into the protest groups and encourage nonviolence. So all the protest groups that I've seen that are paid are mostly like peacemakers that are sent by the state. I wouldn't say that. I think the paid protester thing is like super overblown.
Have you asked them?
Yeah, for sure. I just know a lot of them, you know what I mean?
So let me tell you what came up. This came out with the AOC rally. During the AOC rally, they were like, hey, we had 34,000 people there. But GPS data analysis revealed that the number was closer to 20,000, still big but not record-breaking. And it continues saying a whopping 84% of the devices had shown up at least 9 other protests, including Antifa, BLM
that makes
events,
perfect sense to me.
pro-Hamas, pro-Palestine demonstrations, and Kamala Harris campaigns. So 84% of them, and over 30% of them had attended 20 or more.
That makes sense to me. I feel like people who protest for a living and
But
go to
watch
rallies,
the
it's
rest
kind
of
their
it. Watch
lifestyle.
the rest of it. Data analysts say the crowd was anything but organic. The majority were tied to activist networks like Disruption Project, Indivisible, Democratic Socialists of America, Rise and Resist, and Troublemakers, all reportedly funded by ActBlue and some receiving backing by via USAID. Optics over authenticity. The playbook hasn't changed, just the targets. This is from Zero Hedge.
Yeah, I was at the Bernie Sanders AOC rally doing some interviews 3 days ago in Bakersfield, California. And I just think there's a big difference between NGOs and political groups and parties that receive some level of funding and then decide to go to the events as opposed to like direct orders. The people who are showing up, they may be receiving some level of funding, in a nebulous way, but they believe what they're doing. It's not as if when you say paid protester, it kind of suggests that they don't actually feel that way, that they're just showing up simply because they received orders from the person that's cutting them a check. I think there's a mix, and it's easy to cast them. It's easy, especially when you disagree with someone, to think they can't actually think that. They must be paid to show up. But, the Democratic Socialists of America, they are there with their clipboards asking people to donate and volunteer and sign up. But, I think there's some element to organization. But a lot of people just, the protest crowd is relatively small, and they show up to everything.
You think it's small?
Well, the same people that went to 2020 protests for George Floyd are the same people that were protesting Israel on college campuses, are the same people who vote for AOC and Bernie. It's kind of like it's a demographic. It's kind of like I'm willing to bet that a solid percentage of the people that showed up to a Trump rally here in Florida probably also
I don't know about that because
have been to 5 or more Trump events in the past 5 years.
Yeah, but that's different because what it says is if somebody's been to 20 or more, you don't have a life to go to 20 or more. It's impossible to go to 20 or more unless if you don't have a job. And if 34% have been to 20 or more, so maybe not majority. Let's say 50% is real. Let's say 60% is real. Let's say 70% is real. But the 33% that's showing up who has been to 20 or more, you have to kind of speculate and say, who's paying these guys to be over here?
Well, I think when you say real, 100% of them believe what they're saying. The question is,
I don't know if we know that.
I mean, I've been to a bunch of rallies. I can't think of a single rally where I've interviewed a protester where they're just straight up lying.
You think those guys that stepped up to us and they spat on us, do you think they fully believe in what they're talking about?
Oh, yeah, dude, for sure. I think you don't spend enough time around like internet leftists, man. They really think that. Like those people are really...
I don't disagree with you.
Nowadays, more than ever, the brand you wear reflects and represents who you are. So for us, if you wear a Future Looks Bright hat or a Valuetainment gear, you're telling the world, I'm optimistic. I'm excited about what's going to be happening, but you're a free thinker. You question things. You like debate. And by the way, last year, 120,000 people got a piece of Future Looks Bright gear with Valuetainment. We have so many new things. The cufflinks are here. New Future Looks Bright. This is my favorite, the green one. Just yesterday, somebody placed an order for 100 of these. If you watch the PBD podcast, you got a bunch to choose from. White ones, black ones. If you smoke cigars and you come to our cigar lounge, we have this high quality lighter cutter and a holder for the cigars. We got sweaters with the Valuetainment logo on it. We got mugs. We got a bunch of different things. But if you believe the future looks bright, if you follow our content and what we represent with Valuetainment, with PBD Podcast, go to vtmerch.com. And by the way, if you order right now, there's going to be a special VT gift inside just for you. So again, go to vtmerch.com, place your order, tell the world that you believe the future looks bright. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.